Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The sun's so hot it feels like it's personally offended by your existence. Sand stretches endlessly in every direction. No water, no shade, just heat, sand, and silence. Now, imagine that same desert, but instead of sand dunes you see green grass, flowing rivers, and hippos splashing around like they're on holiday. Sound crazy? Well, here's the kicker. It actually happened. Welcome to the Green Sahara, a version of the desert that existed thousands of years ago. No, it's not science fiction. It's pure, unfiltered history. Picture lush grasslands stretching for miles, massive lakes glimmering in the sun, and wildlife everywhere. Elephants, giraffes, crocodiles, and even hippos, all living their best lives in what we now call the world's largest hot desert. But wait, it gets better. People lived there too. Not just surviving, but thriving. They weren't huddled around makeshift camps hoping for a miracle. Nope. These people built communities, raised cattle, created art, and basically had a pretty sweet life. So, what went down? How did we go from tropical paradise to the scorching wasteland we see today? The answer lies in one of the most dramatic climate shifts in Earth's history. It all starts with something called the African humid period. Sounds fancy, but it's basically a time when North Africa got a climate glow-up. About 10,000 years ago, the Earth's tilt and orbit did a little cosmic shuffle, and suddenly, monsoon rains started hitting North Africa like it was their favorite vacation spot. And we're not talking about a few sprinkles. These were heavy, constant, tropical-style downpours. All that rain turned the desert into a lush, green landscape. Rivers carved their way through the plains, lakes the size of modern-day countries formed, and plants, animals, and humans moved in like it was prime real estate. Here's where it gets wild. Ancient humans didn't just pass through the Green Sahara, they lived there. They built communities, raised cattle, and even left behind artwork. Yup, actual cave paintings showing giraffes, elephants, and even people herding cows. Imagine that. Giraffes and cows chilling together in what's now an endless sea of sand. If you think about it, it's hard to believe that what we call a desert today used to be the ultimate African safari. But like all good things, it didn't last. Around 6,000 to 4,000 years ago, the African humid period came to an end. Slowly but surely, the rain stopped showing up. Rivers started to dry out, lakes shrank into dusty basins, and the lush green paradise began to wither away. But here's the thing, it didn't happen all at once. It wasn't like, boom, lush forest today, desert tomorrow. No, it was more like a slow, painful breakup. Every year it got a little drier, a little hotter, and a little less green. For the people living there, it must have felt like the world was closing in on them. Slowly but surely, their fertile homeland was turning into an uninhabitable wasteland. With water sources disappearing, people had no choice but to leave. Many of them migrated east to a little place you might have heard of, the Nile Valley. Yeah, that Nile. The one in Egypt. This mass migration brought new people, new skills, and fresh energy to one of the most famous civilizations in history. So, in a weird way, the end of the Green Sahara played a part in shaping ancient Egypt as we know it. Now let's talk about what's still hidden under the sand. Turns out, the Sahara is basically a giant time capsule. Beneath all that sand are clues from the past. Ancient lakes that are now just sunken pits, the bones of animals that had no business being in a desert, and of course the remains of human settlements. Archaeologists have found pottery, tools, and even burial sites. Imagine digging through sand dunes and suddenly finding a clay pot that's thousands of years old. It's like discovering a message from people who lived in a world we can barely imagine. And here's the part that'll really mess with your head, the Green Sahara could come back. Yeah, you heard that right. Scientists believe that the same forces that turned the Sahara green in the past could do it again. Remember that cosmic shuffle with the Earth's orbit? Well, it's not a one-time thing. It happens in cycles. The last big shift happened 10,000 years ago, but guess what? Another shift is on the horizon. It's just going to take a while. Don't pack your bags for Sahara Safari 2.0 just yet. We're talking thousands of years from now. But still, the idea that one day the Sahara could turn green again is pretty wild. Imagine future humans looking at our photos of the sandy desert and saying, wow, can you believe this used to be a desert? So to sum it all up, the Sahara wasn't always a desert. It was a lush green wonderland full of life, rivers, and thriving human communities. Then, thanks to a climate shift, it slowly dried up and became the vast, unforgiving desert we know today. But under that sand lies a story of rain, rivers, giraffes, hippos, and human resilience. And who knows, maybe one day, when the cosmic shuffle happens again, it'll all come back. Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more contents like this. You can also leave a comment of what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.